howdy ho, everybody. It's your homeboy, Deadpool. Or is it? Surprise. Just kidding, you weren't surprised at all, were you? Anyway, it's me, Kyle from Lumberjay Media. We are jumping into our next tier sheet. Thank you guys all for viewing the last one. I very much appreciate it. But this next one, as you might be able to see, is Marvel movies. So, I think these are all Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, which is another thing I got a lot of hot takes and opinions on, so we'll see how this plays out. But anyways, thank you guys all for watching and subscribing and joining me on Lumberjay Media. We have a lot of fun on the channel. Hey, feel free to like and subscribe. It's free, no cost to you. But anyways, yeah. So, shall we jump into this? I think we should. First things first, if we're going on this, let me go back over the tier sheet one more time. S tier means it's awesome, it's fantastic, it's incredible, okay? A tier means it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. It's very good content. It's a good thing, however you want to spin that. B tier means it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not bad, not bad. C means meh. It's okay. It's not horrible. Not C. Sorry, I just said C. What am I saying? D tier means it is disappointing, it is garbage, it is bad. Destroy it, burn it with fire, okay? So, without further ado, let's jump right in. First things first, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, I'll say this straight up, right off the bat. My favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie of all time is Guardians of the Galaxy, okay? So, when I was at the theater opening weekend to see Volume 2, I was very excited, very hype, okay? And I can safely say it didn't quite live up to my expectations, but it was still a thoroughly good movie. Like, I very much enjoyed watching it. So I'm going to stick it in either A tier or B tier. I just don't know which one yet. I think I'm going to stick it in B tier for now. Just for now. I might move it up later. We'll see. Next up, Ant-Man. This was a out of left field play for Marvel. I did not anticipate Ant-Man to be so good. If anything, I remember hearing about the concept Ant-Man, knowing, Hank Pym, all that stuff. Like, I watched Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That was a great cartoon, by the way. In fact, I would say it's one of the greatest cartoons of all time, but that's just me. I knew Ant-Man from that and stuff, and I was like, he was okay. He was kind of corny, though. But seeing the first trailer for Ant-Man, I was like, this might actually be decent. Then when I finally saw the movie, I was like, this was really good, actually. So, Ant-Man, that's an easy A tier right there. A for Ant-Man. Avengers, Age of Ultron. So, this is not my favorite Avengers movie. It wasn't bad, though. Like, it was pretty good. It did a lot of world building. I feel like it kind of had what a lot of people say the Iron Man 2 problem was, which was, it focused so much on world building, it didn't really get anything done. So, I think I'm going to stick in the B tier as well. I feel like B tier is a good place to put all the sequels to movies that didn't seem to, have much effect on anything a whole lot, other than setting some status quo up for the next films. The first Avengers, man, this is clearly an S tier. I think people really underestimate the movie, quite honestly. Because the first Avengers movie, that is classic. That was the first time we got to see the Avengers, period. And the Avengers movies are the ones that rake in the most dough for Marvel, if I'm not mistaken. So, if I had the first Avengers movie any lower, that'd be doing a serious injustice. And not to mention, that movie is sort of what reignited my love for superheroes. Because, I grew up liking superheroes a lot. And then when I got into, wasn't middle school, it was fourth grade maybe. All my friends were like, oh, superheroes are lame and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I guess I'm not a big superhero fan anymore. And then Avengers came out and I saw it and I was like, holy crap, this is good content right here. So yeah, Avengers is a great film. I don't care what people say. S tier. Ant-Man and the Wasp. So that was a pretty good movie. I don't think it was better than the first Ant-Man, quite honestly. It was still really good though. However, I'm going to stick it in A tier because it was still better than these two movies, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Age of Ultron, especially for a sequel. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp was definitely better. This is where I'm going to get a little controversial here. The next movie is Black Panther. And Black Panther was not horrible, but it was not very good compared to the other stuff that Marvel's put out. I know it's going to be very controversial. I know because Rotten Tomatoes, that's the best rated Marvel movie from the critics. So yeah, it's a hot take, so to speak. So anyways, I'm putting Black Panther in C tier. Next up, we have Captain America, the First Avenger. This is another controversial opinion I have. I have so many controversial opinions. Let's get that out of the way right now. This whole thing's going to be upsets, okay? I'm calling it. So, Captain America, the First Avenger. This is my favorite Captain America movie. And this is easily either A or B tier, I would put it. I think I'm going to put it in A tier. It was really good. I liked it a lot. Captain America Civil War. This movie was... Well, let me put it like this. I'm not a big fan of the Captain America sequels, period. In fact, I think Winter Soldier is another one of the most overrated Marvel movies, quite honestly. Civil War, I don't know. It reminded me, it was very similar in tone and setting to Winter Soldier, but I liked it more because Spider-Man pretty much. And that airport battle was really awesome, like the end of Act 2. Actually, would it have been the end of Act 2? I don't know. I don't have time to critically analyze the film. But anyways, I'll put it in B tier. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Captain Marvel. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, however that saying goes. Yeah, no comment. Thor the Dark World. I watched about half this movie, and then I got bored and did something else. So that's a safe D tier. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, it was pretty good. Not my favorite. It was pretty good. I'll stick it under B tier, just to be safe. Avengers Endgame. This was like Marvel's magnum opus, so it would be a disgrace to put it anything less than S tier, okay? Let's be honest. Next up, we have Thor Ragnarok. This is one of Marvel's greatest films, if you ask me. The first two Thors, I thought the first one was pretty good. As you can see from my list, Thor the Dark World, that was like a garbage fire, so that's pretty low. But Thor Ragnarok really blew my expectations. Thought it was really good. I'm going to put it in A tier for now, but I would even debate possibly putting it in S tier, because that's how much I love that movie. Guardians of the Galaxy. I talked about that movie already. This was honestly one of the most influential movies of my entire life, because I'm trying to become a radio DJ now at this point, and it was this film that got me into music in general, because the soundtrack, very influential. I loved it. It was very different from what I was used to with Marvel at that point, so that's an easy S tier for me. Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, here's another one that we're going to have to spend a lot of time talking about. It's The Incredible Hulk. So, Incredible Hulk, not a great movie, but not absolute garbage. Here's the thing. I think Black Panther was slightly better than The Incredible Hulk, but The Incredible Hulk was not bad enough for me to stick it in D tier. So, I'm going to have to put it in C tier still. Yeah, it wasn't horrible. It just wasn't, awesome either. So, it was just kind of disappointing in general. Okay. Next, we have what is going to be another incredible upset. It's Iron Man 3, which is my favorite Iron Man movie, not going to lie. Yeah, I don't know why everyone hates it so much, quite honestly. I don't see all the flaws in it that other people do. I understand from, a film critic perspective that, the first Iron Man is definitely the best of the three in terms of story and how it's told and, villains and stuff. But, Iron Man 3, it's just, I don't think it's that far behind, in my opinion anyways. So, that being said, I'm probably going to stick it in B tier. I'm sticking to B tier. Now, if you were to ask me, before this phase of Marvel ended, if you were supposed to ask me that, which is phase 3, by the way, if you were to ask me pre the end of phase 3, I would probably stick a little higher, but I think more movies came out that were better. That makes me put it a little lower on the list. Next, we got all the Iron Mans 3 in a row for some reason. Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 was not as good a film, but it was still very entertaining. In fact, I might take Iron Man 2 and put it in B tier as well. So then we have Iron Man 3. So Iron Man 3, I understand it's a better film than the other two in terms of like movie making and stuff, but I personally did not enjoy watching it as much. The enjoyment factor was not as high for me on the first Iron Man as it was for 2 and 3. So I'm kind of at a tough spot right here because actually, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Iron Man 2. I'm going to stick it in C tier. It's getting demoted right after we promoted it. I'm going to slap Iron Man B tier. Okay, next. Avengers Infinity War. Not going to lie. So when the movie came out, I didn't enjoy anything but the ending because the ending was, that was unexpected. We weren't expecting, and everyone gets crop dusted, okay? We were expecting, maybe there's a setback. Maybe Thanos gets the Infinity Stones and runs away, and then they got to prepare for a big battle in the second because Avengers Endgame was originally called Infinity War Part 2. So for that, and that being said, I'm going to have to take Avengers Infinity War and put it in A tier. Boom. But anyways, and fun fact, so I grew to appreciate Infinity War a little more after it came out. That's why I put it in A tier. I kind of put the cart before the horse there and slapped it in there before I explained my entire reasoning. I have a friend who he's just making like this privately. He's editing the movie, but he's putting people he knows faces on the characters. I think that's kind of hilarious. So I've watched through the entire movie just like that, just because it makes it more like, I guess, personal in a way. It's very funny, but sort of like an inside joke. But that was very amusing. His name, by the way, he's got a YouTube channel. His name is Jeremy Grossnickel. I'll give you a quick shout out to his channel, so you can thank me later, Jeremy. He's a good friend of mine. But anyways, let's dive back into this. We have Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, I don't like doing this one before Homecoming, so I'm actually going to skip it for now, because I think explaining where I'm going to put it is a lot easier if we do Homecoming first. So, Spider-Man Homecoming is, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man movie ever made. That's also a very controversial opinion. Yes, I think it's better than Spider-Man 2. I do understand the debate that some people make about it not being as true and loyal, I guess, to the source material and as good a, quote, Spider-Man movie. I understand that. I think that debate makes a lot of sense. However, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is just so darn funny, okay? Like, I've never seen a more entertaining Spider-Man than Tom Holland's. When I saw the movie, I resonated with it a lot because it was back in 2017. I was 17 back then. And, yeah, it's just, I guess it's because it's very, like, Gen Z, I guess. And I just related to it a lot. So, I mean, because he's the youngest main hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, for that reason, I got to slap this pretty high. I'm putting it S tier, believe it or not. So next we have Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, Spider-Man Far From Home, if we're talking about Spider-Man movies and how well it was as a Spider-Man movie or a Marvel movie in general, it kind of disappointed a bit on both fronts. It wasn't bad, but if you compare it to any other Spider-Man movie, I mean, other than the Amazing Spider-Man films, I would debate it's probably at the bottom, if you ask me. Definitely wasn't as good as Homecoming. That's an opinion I stand by. So, that being said, I'm going to slap Far From Home in B tier once again. Next film we have is the first Thor. Now, I talked about this a little bit before. It was pretty good. Thor is not a hero. Before I saw that movie, that really intrigued me at all. That was kind of boring, quite honestly. But the movie did a good job making him a bit more exciting. So, I think I'm gonna put. Am I put it in B or C? I can't really decide. I'm gonna put it in B because I remember it being really funny, especially when he came back to Earth and stuff, and he was all like, still acting like Thor, and everyone thought it was insane. That was pretty funny to me. So last movie we have, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Talked about it before. It's my least favorite Captain America film. I guess for that I'm gonna have to slap it in C tier. But anyways, so there you have it. That is my tier sheet list for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, I'll go over this for you guys once again. S tier, the magnum opuses, the awesome. We have Avengers, Avengers Endgame, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man Homecoming. A tier, we have Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain America, The First Avenger, Thor Ragnarok, and Avengers Infinity War. B tier, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Avengers Age of Ultron, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Iron Man 3, Spider-Man Far From Home, Iron Man, and Thor. C tier, we have Black Panther, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Captain Marvel is the first one in our D tier, and she is in the D tier with Thor, The Dark World. And that, my friends, is my list of Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, my tier list. Once again, this is just my opinion. It doesn't really matter. Agree or disagree, who really cares? But anyways, thank you guys all for joining me. Thank you for tuning in to watch this video of some random guy talk about his opinions on movies for however many minutes, like 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Anyways, I'm Kyle from Lumberjay Media. See you next time. God bless you, and God bless America.